Hi everyone, this is K. Venkateshwarlu, lecturer in mathematics, Government Degree College, Women, Nalgonda. In previous classes, we see the examples of convergence sequences, and now we see some more problems on convergent sequences. The next slide gives the problem on convergent sequence. So prove that limit n tending to infinity 2n plus 3 by 5n minus 1 is equal to 2 by 5. Here we have to prove limit n tending to infinity 2n plus 3 by 5n minus 1 is equal to 2 by 5. So that means here given sequence is Sn is equal to 2n plus 3 by 5n minus 1 and the limit value L is equal to 2 by 5. Here we consider for each epsilon greater than 0 there exists a natural number n such that n greater than or equal to n implies mod. So what is the definition of convergent sequence? Let Sn be any sequence and there exists a real number L such that mod Sn minus L less than epsilon. Mod Sn minus L less than epsilon. Here in place of Sn we have 2n plus 3 by 5n minus 1 and L is 2 by 5. We substitute in place of Sn 2n plus 3 by 5n minus 1 and in place of L we substitute 2 by 5, that is 2n plus 3 by 5n minus 1 minus 2 by 5 less than epsilon. So now we consider which is equation 1. From this one we find n. This n depends on epsilon value. This n depends on epsilon value. So from 1 mod 2n plus 3 by 5n minus 1 minus 2 by 5 less than epsilon. So from that one here LCM is 5 into 5n minus 1. The simplification gives mod 10n plus 15 minus, here the simplification gives 10n plus 15 minus 10n plus 2 by 5n minus 1 into 5 less than epsilon. In numerator 10n minus 10n get cancelled, 15 plus 2 is 17, 17 by 5 into 5n minus 1 is less than epsilon. But because mod of that value is must be equal to 17 by 5 into 5n minus 1. Why? Because we take all the values of n are natural numbers. So natural numbers are nothing but positive. So whatever it may be, either positive or negative, the mod value gives positive value only. From that one, 17 by 5 epsilon is less than 5n minus 1. Minus 1 goes to left hand side. 17 by 5 epsilon plus 1 is less than 5n. This can be written as 5n greater than 1 plus 17 by 5 epsilon. From that one, n greater than 1 by 5 plus 17 by 25 epsilon. Here we divide with 5 on both sides, we get n greater than 1 by 5 plus 17 by 25 epsilon. 17 by 25 epsilon. The last value is here the last value is n greater than 1 by 5 plus 17 by 25 epsilon. So this must be equal to natural number. This value must be equal to natural number. If we take epsilon is equal to 0.1 or 0.5, so that is equal to this total number equal to natural number. Okay, here this n greater than 1 by 5 plus 17 by 25 epsilon. Next slide. From that one we get 2n plus 3 by 5n minus 1 minus 2 by 5 less than epsilon. For every n greater than or equal to n is equal to 1 by 5 plus 17 by 25 epsilon, which is 25 epsilon. Which is 25 epsilon. So whenever the natural number is exists, then we say that the given sequence Sn is equal to 2n plus 3 by 5n minus 1 is converges and the limit point is 2 by 5. So what is the definition of limit point of a sequence? Whenever mod Sn minus L less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to n, then we say that Sn converges to a limit point L. Sn converges to a limit point L. Here also 2n plus 3 by 5n minus 1 minus 2 by 5 less than epsilon for every n greater or equal to n. Here the natural number n exists that depends on epsilon value. That depends on epsilon value. That gives limit n tending to infinity 2n plus 3 by 5n minus 1 is equal to 2 by 5. Okay, so by using here, in order to prove this type of problems, we use the definition of limit point of a sequence. In order to prove this type of problems, we use the definition of limit point of a sequence. So otherwise we directly substitute n is equal to infinity to get the limit point of the sequence. Okay, you can do these three problems. Prove that limit n tending to infinity 5n cube plus 2n by n cube minus 6 is equal to 5, and also prove that limit n tending to infinity minus 1 power n by n is equal to 0. So here we take mod minus 1 power n by n minus 0. So mod minus 1 power n gives one value. Mod minus 1 power n gives one value. That is that here from this one, mod minus 1 power n by n minus 0 minus 0 less than epsilon. So from that one we get directly 1 by n less than epsilon only. Here, prove that limit n tending to infinity minus 1 power n by n is equal to 0. In that problem, the given sequence Sn is equal to minus 1 power n by n and the limit value L is equal to 0. So what is the definition of limit point of a sequence? Mod Sn minus L is less than epsilon. So from that one, mod minus 1 power n by n minus 0, that is equal to mod minus 1 power n by n. That mod minus 1 power 1 by n is equal to 1 by n only. Why? Because here we have minus 1 power n mod is equal to 1 only. Mod minus 1 power n is equal to 1. In denominator only n is there. Mod of n is equal to n. From that one we get 1 by n is less than epsilon only. From that one we find the natural number n. Then the given sequence is converges to 0. Okay, so similarly you can do the next problem. Limit n tending to infinity 4n cube plus 3n by n cube minus 6 is equal to 4. Here the given sequence is 4n cube plus 3n by n cube minus 6 and the limit point is 4. So next problem. If a greater than 0, then show that limit a power 1 by n is equal to 1. If a greater than 0, we have to show that limit a power 1 by n is equal to 0. Here limit value is not given. That is, we consider n is equal to infinity. Here limit n tending to infinity a power 1 by n is equal to 1. Here n is equal to infinity is not given, but we consider it as limit n tending to infinity a power 1 by n is equal to 1. A power 1 by n is equal to 1. So if a greater than 0 means, what we have cases here? If a greater than 0 means either a is equal to 1 or a greater than 1 or a less than 1. So in a less than 1 we have 0 less than a less than 1. Already given condition is a greater than 0. Then we have 3 cases. Here we consider 3 cases. First case is if a is equal to 1, what happened? If a greater than 1, what happened? If a is less than 1, what happened? Here we see the 3 cases. So first case is if a is equal to 1, then directly a power 1 by n is also equal to 1. Why? Because if a is equal to 1, 1 power something value equal to 1. Then we apply limit also, the limit value is also equal to 1. That's why here if a is equal to 1, then a power 1 by n is also equal to 1. Here we substitute a is equal to 1, 1 power 1 by n. 1 power 1 by n is equal to also 1. Hence we apply limit on both sides. Limit n tending to infinity a power 1 by n is equal to limit n tending to infinity 1. Here a power 1 by n is equal, here we have a power 1 by n is equal to 1. Here we apply limit on both sides. Here we apply limits on both sides, that is limit n tending to infinity a power 1 by n, which is equal to limit n tending to infinite 1. So what is the value of limit of 1? Limit of 1 is equal to 1. From that one we get limit n tending to infinity a power 1 by n is equal to 1. So whenever a is equal to 1, the theorem is true. The problem is true. Now we check if a greater than 1, what happened? If a greater than 1, then a power 1 by n is also greater than 1. So for example, if a greater than 1 means, if you take a is equal to 2, if we take a is equal to 2, 2 power 1 by n. 2 power 1 by n is always greater than 1. Why? Because 2 power 1 by n, if you substitute n is equal to 1, 2 power 1 by 1. 2 power 1 by 1 is 2. That 2 is must be greater than 1. Here a greater than 1 means a greater than 1 means if we take a is equal to 2, then 2 power 1 by n is also greater than 1. 2 power 1 by n is also greater than 1. Why? Because here n is natural number. If you substitute n is equal to 1, then 2 power 1 by 1. 2 power 1 by n is 2. The 2 always greater than 1. If you take n is equal to 2, root 2. What is the value of root 2? Root 2 is 1.414. That is also greater than 1. Cube root of 2 is also greater than 1. So from that one, if a is greater than 1, then a power 1 by n is always greater than 1, which implies, so whenever a power 1 by n is greater than 1, here we write a power 1 by n as 1 plus for some sequence hn. Here 2 is greater than 1 means, for example, here whenever a power 1 by n is greater than 1, we write it as a power 1 by n is equal to 1 plus hn for some hn is greater than 0. Here we consider hn is a sequence which is positive sequence. So whenever 3 is greater than 1, this 3 can be written as 1 plus 2. So whenever 3 is greater than 1, 3 can be written as 1 plus 2. In the same way, whenever a power 1 by n is greater than 1, this a power 1 by n can be written as 1 plus hn. This a power 1 by n can be written as 1 plus for some sequence hn. Here we consider hn as a sequence. Okay, where hn is compulsory greater than 0, which is a positive sequence. Okay, other than if hn is equal to 0, a power 1 by n is equal to 1, but here we consider a power 1 by n is greater than 1. Okay, so from that one, this power 1 by n goes to right hand side, then a is equal to 1 plus hn whole power n. So which is a binomial. Here we can apply, here we apply binomial theorem. From that one, 1 plus nc1 into hn plus nc2 into hn square plus dash dash plus hn whole power n. Hence a is greater than 1 plus nc1 into hn. From that one, a greater than 1 plus nc1 is nothing but n into hn. So this 1 goes to left hand side, a minus 1 is greater than n into hn. This n also goes to left hand side, a minus 1 by n is also greater than hn. Already hn is greater than 0 and hn is less than a minus 1 by n. Here we have two cases. So that is, here hn is already, we consider hn is greater than 0. Here we get hn is less than a minus 1 by n. From these two conditions we write it as 0 less than hn less than a minus 1 by n. 0 less than hn less than a minus 1 by n. Next slide. Let epsilon greater than 0, then a minus 1 by n is less than epsilon when n greater than a minus 1 by epsilon. So from that one, for each epsilon greater than 0, there exists a natural number n is equal. Here this a minus 1 by epsilon considered as natural number n, that is, there exists n is equal to a minus 1 by epsilon such that n is greater than n, which implies mod hn less than epsilon. Mod hn less than epsilon. That means whenever mod hn less than epsilon, the limit value of the sequence hn is equal to 0. Whenever mod Sn minus L less than epsilon, whenever mod Sn minus L less than epsilon, we say that the sequence Sn converges to L. Here mod Hn less than epsilon means Hn minus 0 less than epsilon. That means Hn converges to 0. So that is right, is as limit Hn is equal to 0. You see, which is equation 2. So from 1 comma 2, limit n tending to infinity a power 1 by n is equal to 1. From 1 comma 2. So what is equation 1? Equation 1 is a power 1 by n is equal to 1 plus Hn. Here we apply limit value on both sides. Limit n tending infinity a power 1 by n is equal to limit n tending infinity 1 plus Hn. Already we know that limit of 1 is 1 and limit of Hn is equal to 0. From that one we get limit n tending to infinity a power 1 by n is equal to 1. From that one we get limit n tending to infinity a power 1 by n is equal to 1. Here mod Hn is less than epsilon. How is it possible here? Here mod Hn is less than epsilon. So here we have a condition that is 0 less than Hn less than a minus 1 by n. Here we consider this a minus 1 by n is less than epsilon. Here we consider a minus 1 by n is less than epsilon, then there exists a natural number n. Otherwise not possible. Here we consider this a minus 1 by n is less than epsilon, then there exists a natural number n. So whenever a minus 1 by n is less than epsilon, from that one we get Hn less than epsilon. Here we consider a minus 1 by n is less than epsilon. Then we have 0 less than Hn less than a minus 1 by n is less than epsilon. So whenever a less than b less than c, we have a is less than c. Same way here Hn is less than epsilon. Whenever Hn less than epsilon, by the definition of convergent sequence or limit point of a sequence, we have the limit point of Hn is 0. We have the limit point of Hn is 0. That is equation 2. Here we consider a minus 1 by n is less than epsilon whenever n greater than. Okay. If 0 less than a less than 1. So whenever a greater than 0, we have 3 cases arise here. Whenever a greater than 0, we have 3 cases arise. That is either a is equal to 1. So whenever a is equal to 1, the problem is true. If a is greater than 1 is also true. The next case is in between 0 comma 1 what happened? In between 0 comma 1 what happened? Okay, we check. If 0 less than a less than 1, then 1 by a must be greater than 1. So by that here, if a less than 1, a is less than 1, then 1 by a is greater than 1, or this a goes to right hand side. This a goes to right hand side. Here this a can be written as 1 into a. This a goes to right hand side, 1 less than 1 by a. That is nothing but 1 by a is greater than 1. Okay. So then 1 by a greater than 1. So whenever greater than 1, here we have second case. What is the second case? Whenever a greater than 1, we have limit n tending into a power 1 by n is equal to, what is the value? Limit n tending into a power 1 by n is equal to 1. So this case is true for a is greater than 1. So which is true for limit n tending into a power 1 by n is equal to 1 whenever a greater than 1. The similar way, whenever 1 by a greater than 1, which is also true. So that means here limit 1 by a whole power 1 by n is also 1 by case 2. Here whenever a is greater than 1, we have limit n tending into a power 1 by n is equal to 1. Here 1 by a is greater than 1. If a is greater than 1, the problem is true for limit n tending into a power 1 by n is equal to 1. If 1 by a is greater than 1, this case is also true for 1 by a. That is limit 1 by a whole power 1 by n is equal to 1. This 1 by a can be written as limit 1 by a whole power 1 by n. That from that one we get limit a power 1 by n is equal to 1. So in 3 cases, in each case we have limit n tending infinity a power 1 by n is equal to 1. Therefore limit a power 1 by n is equal to limit n tending infinity a power 1 by n is equal to 1. Okay, so which is very important problem. And the next one is determine the limits of the following sequences. So in order to find the limits of the following sequences, directly we substitute n is equal to infinity to we get limit points of the following sequences. So one problem we can see, given that Sn is equal to n plus 5 by n square plus 1, here we substitute n is equal to infinity in the sequence Sn is equal to n plus 5 by n square plus 1. First we common in numerator, we common with n, that is n of 2 plus 5 by n. In denominator we common n square, that is n square of 1 plus 1 by n square. In numerator n, denominator n square, n get cancelled. From that one we get limit n tangent infinity 2 plus 5 by n by n into 1 plus 1 by n square. That is equal to, here we apply directly n is equal to infinity, 2 plus 5 by infinity by, here we have n, that is infinite, into 1 plus 1 by infinite square. Infinite square is nothing but infinite. 1 by infinity value is 0. 5 by infinity value is also 0. We get 2 by infinity. 2 by infinity is also 0. So then from that one we get the limit point of the sequence Sn is 0. So similarly you can do the problems of B, C, D. Okay. So next we see the theorem. So that is every convergent sequence is bounded. Every convergent sequence is bounded. So here we take one convergent sequence, then we prove that the sequence is bounded. So first of all, what is the definition of convergent sequence? What is the definition of convergent sequence? So mod Sn minus L is less than epsilon. We say that the sequence Sn is converges to L. So which is the definition of convergent sequence. For a given epsilon greater than 0, there is a real number L such that there exists a natural number n such that mod Sn minus L less than epsilon. That is the definition of convergent sequence. Then what is the definition of bounded? Mod Sn less than or equal to m. Mod Sn less than or equal to m, where m is a positive real number. Where m is a positive real number. So by using this condition, mod Sn minus L less than epsilon, we show that, from that we show that mod Sn is less than or equal to m, then every convergent sequence is bounded. So in order to prove this theorem, we see one example. That is, first we take one convergent sequence, then we check that sequence is either bounded or not. Then we check the sequence is bounded or not. So go for the last slide page, blank. Here we take one convergent sequence. What are the sequence? So okay, we take one sequence, that is Sn is equal to 1 by n. Sn is equal to 1 by n. So already we see the sequence is must be convergent. Now we check the sequence is either bounded or not. So for that we find lower bound of the sequence and also find the upper bound of the sequence. So first we write the terms of the sequence. What are the terms of the sequence? 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4 and so on. Lastly, so all the terms of the sequence are positive. All the terms of the sequence are positive. So the last value goes to either less than 0 or equal to 0. Less than 0 or equal to 0. So from these terms of sequence we observe that 1 is the upper bound of the sequence and 0 is the lower bound of the sequence. All the terms of the sequence are must be less than or equal to 1. All the terms of the sequence must be less than or equal to 1, which is in the form of mod Sn less than or equal to m, where m is a positive real number. Where m is a positive real number. Okay. Now we see the proof of every convergent sequence is bounded. Here we have to prove every convergent sequence is bounded. For that we consider a convergent sequence. Sn, the limit point of the sequence is L. We consider the limit point of the sequence Sn is L. Whenever Sn converges to L, by the definition of limit point of a sequence or convergent sequence, for a given epsilon greater than 0, there exists a natural number n such that mod Sn minus L less than epsilon for every n greater than or equal to n. So which is only the definition of limit point of a sequence or convergent sequence. Mod Sn minus L less than epsilon for every n greater than or equal to n. Whenever we consider the sequence Sn is converges to L, by using the definition of convergent sequence, we can write it as mod Sn minus L less than epsilon for every n greater than or equal to 1 n. By using this condition, we have to show that the sequence is bounded. By using this condition, we have to show that the sequence is bounded. So in order to show the sequence is bounded, that is enough to show that mod Sn is less than or equal to m, where m is any positive real number. So in order to show the sequence is bounded, it is enough to show that mod Sn is less than or equal to m. Further, we consider mod Sn. Actually, here we have to show that the sequence Sn is bounded. So what is the definition of bounded sequence? Let Sn be any sequence. There exists a real number m such that mod Sn less than or equal to m for all n values. For all n values. For that we consider mod Sn. Then we show that all the values of Sn is less than or equal to positive real number. That gives the bounded sequence. Okay. So for that here we consider mod Sn and adding and subtracting with L, that is mod Sn minus L plus L, which is in the form of mod A plus B. We know that mod A plus B is less than or equal to. Mod A plus B is less than or equal to mod A plus mod B. Mod A plus mod B. Here we consider Sn minus L is A and L is B. Here we consider this Sn minus L is A and this L is B. From that one we can write it as mod Sn minus L plus L less than or equal to mod Sn minus L plus mod L. Already from one, mod Sn minus L is less than epsilon plus mod L. Already epsilon is a positive value which is greater than 0. L is any real number here. L is any real number and limit point of the sequence Sn. But if L is negative real number, then what is the value of mod L? Mod L must be positive. So epsilon is a value and mod L is also a positive value. Then we consider epsilon plus mod L is for some m which is a positive real number. Then we get mod Sn less than or equal to m. Here we use the convergent sequence definition and we get bounded sequence condition here. Mod Sn less than or equal to m. Then from this condition and from this one we say that the convergent sequence is bounded. The convergent sequence is bounded. That means every convergent sequence is bounded. Converse need not be true. That means every bounded sequence need not be converges. Next we see the one example. Every bounded sequence need not be converges. Okay. So once again I repeat this theorem. What is the theorem? Prove that every convergent sequence is bounded. Every convergent sequence is bounded. For that we take one convergent sequence and we have to show that sequence is bounded. By using the definition of convergent sequence, we write the definition of convergent sequence. That is mod Sn minus L is less than epsilon. From that from this sequence we have to show that the sequence is bounded. So what is the definition of bounded sequence? Mod Sn is less than or equal to m. So by using mod Sn minus L less than epsilon, we have to show mod Sn is less than or equal to m. That gives the sequence is bounded. That is every convergent sequence is bounded. Okay. Next we see one more theorem. That is the limit point of a sequence is unique. If the limit point is exist of any sequence, if any sequence containing limit point or if any sequence have limit point, that limit point must be unique. First we consider let Sn be a sequence of real number and let L1 and L2 be two limits of Sn. Here we go for we choose Sn has two limit points. Here we consider Sn has two limit points. What happened here? We observe what happened here. First Sn be a sequence of real numbers and let L1 and L2 be two limit points of Sn. Whenever L1 and L2 are limit points of Sn, already what is the definition of convergence sequence? If L is a limit point of Sn, we write it as limit entering infinity Sn is equal to L. Or by the definition of limit point of a sequence, that can be written as mod Sn minus L is less than epsilon. Here we consider L1 and L2 are limit points of Sn. By the definition of limit point of a sequence, we can write it as here Sn minus L1 less than epsilon by 2. Wait. Sn minus L, this one is Sn minus L is less than epsilon by 2. The same way Sn minus L2 is also less than epsilon by 2. So whenever L is a limit point of the sequence Sn, we can write it as mod Sn minus L is less than epsilon. Here we consider L1 and L2 are two limit points of the sequence Sn. By the definition of limit point of a sequence, we can write it as mod Sn minus L1 is less than epsilon or epsilon by 2. Mod Sn minus L2 is also less than epsilon by 2. Here we write it as by the definition of convergence sequence, here we can write it as mod Sn minus L1 is less than epsilon by 2 for every n is greater than or equal to n1. Here we consider for all n is greater than or equal to n2. Let n is equal to maximum of n1 comma n2, then n is greater than or equal to n here. N is greater than or equal to n. Next slide. Now consider mod L1 minus L2, that is equal to L1. Here we add with the sequence Sn and subtract with the sequence Sn. That is L1 plus Sn minus L2, which is also in the form of a plus b. Mod a plus b can be written as mod a plus b is less than or equal to a plus mod b. Here we use the one theorem, mod a plus b less than or equal to mod a plus mod b. So here a is L1 plus Sn and b is L1 minus L2 some way. Here L1 minus Sn plus Sn minus L2. Here we take this L1 minus Sn, after that Sn minus L2. So mod a minus b is equal to mod b minus a. Mod a minus b is equal to mod b minus a. From that one, L1 minus Sn can be written as Sn minus L1, Sn minus L2. Already we know that mod Sn minus L1 is less than epsilon by 2. Mod Sn minus L2 also less than epsilon by 2. Epsilon by 2 is less than epsilon. Thus mod L1 minus L2 is equal to epsilon. And since 0 less than or equal to mod L1 minus L2 is less than epsilon. Why? Because already we consider as epsilon is greater than 0. Epsilon is greater than 0, but mod L1 minus L2 is less than epsilon. Mod L1 minus L2 is less than epsilon. And mod L1 minus L2 is in between 0 and epsilon. Here mod L1 minus L2 is in between 0 and epsilon. So in between 0 and epsilon must be for some case mod L1 minus L2 is equal to 0. Here holds for every epsilon greater than 0, we have mod L1 minus L2 is equal to 0. From that one we get L1 is equal to L2. So whenever we consider a sequence have two limits, then there must be equal. Then they have must be equal. అంటే ఇక్కడ మనకి ఒక సీక్వెన్స్ కి టూ లిమిట్ పాయింట్స్ ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అవుతాయి అనుకుంటే అవి కంపల్సరీగా ఈక్వల్ అవుతాయి అని చెప్పేసి. ఓకేనా? సో నెక్స్ట్ వి సీ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ది ప్రాబ్లమ్స్. సో ఫ్రమ్ ట్రిగనామెట్రిక్ సీక్వెన్సెస్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ Sn is equal to sin n pi. So which is convergent sequence or divergent sequence? So by using the definition of convergent sequence, we cannot check which is a convergent or divergent. By using the definition of convergent sequence, we cannot check the sequence is either convergent or divergent. Okay. Next we see the divergence sequence problems and also squeeze theorem. Okay. Thank you.